Hello?
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 Hey, how's it going? You got Greg and Joe here.
Hey, how you guys doing?
We're doing well. So, just to start it off, we'd love to just get like a background on what you do, and if you can just kind of explain what a medium and or psychic sort of does.
Well, a medium, that's what they call a mediumship. We deal directly with the spiritual side, the spiritual realm. You know, all the fun and good stuff that has to do with spirits and paranormal things like that. The psychic one is people's lives here on Earth, meaning their jobs, loved ones, relationships, you know, things like that. So, yeah, there's a difference between a psychic and a medium.
Okay, Joe wins that argument. We were talking about that before we called you, and he was right.
Oh, there's an argument about it? I love it. Go ahead, Joe.
No, we were just like trying to figure out the difference between being a psychic and a medium, and I just said like a psychic is more so about like the future and reality, and then a medium is more so talking to people who have passed.
A medium is what?
Gets in touch with people who have died.
That's exactly what I said, so you were right.
There you go. Boom. So I'm actually curious about the medium side.
Mm-hmm.
Is this something that is innate in some people, or is it something that can be learned?
Well, everybody is born a medium. That's why when you see kids at a very young age, when they are able to see spirits and you guys think that, oh, they're just talking to themselves or have imaginary friends, a lot of times their imaginary friends are actual spirits. And then as you get older, up to a certain age, your doors start closing. Now, you can choose to continue wanting to see spirits and tap into the spiritual realm to keep your doors open. But as you get older, some people are afraid of them. So without realizing it, because they run away from it, their doors start closing. And so by the time you're an adult, you don't get to hear or feel or even see them.
That reminds me of like the ability to learn a language, like how kids, it's so much easier for them, and then once you become a certain age, it's obviously so much harder.
Right. But you can open your doors back up, you know. Everybody has it. You just close it out of fear of whatever happened in your life. But you can always open it back up anytime you want.
So is this something that you had to open back up, or is it something you've been dealing with your whole life? And what was your first experience like?
Well, unfortunately, I didn't have a very pleasant first experience. But I saw my first spirit when I was in the second grade. A really good friend of mine had passed away overnight, and I didn't know that, and he ends up showing up in my house. And I said, what are you doing after hours? It's past bedtime. My mom's going to kill you knowing that you're here, you know. And I saw him solid, which was a crazy part at first. You know, normally people, the first time they see orbs or shadow figures or see-through, you know, I saw him solid. And I thought he just came into my house for something that happened. And, you know, for the first couple of minutes, he didn't really talk. And then when he did talk, he told me what had happened. And he said the only person, the first place that he knew where to go was to come to me. And he said he didn't even know, like, you know, he was just drawn to me, to my energy. And so he came, and that's, you know, that was the very first spirit I saw.
When you saw him, did you know that he had passed away already, or did you
Not in the beginning, no. Not in the beginning, because like I said, he was solid, you know, like, had the whole body, and you could see it. And that's why I got mad at first, and I said, my mom is going to kill you. What are you doing here after hours? And, you know, it was late at night, and it was bedtime. And then we went into my room, and that's when, you know, he just told me. He said, I didn't know. He said, next thing he knows, he's showing up at my house. But before that, the only thing he could remember is something that happened in the car. He was in the vehicle with his father and his mother. He was the only child. The whole family, unfortunately, died. And he said, next thing I know, I just show up at your door, and he has no idea why. So, you know, and then I found out they got into a car accident, and all three of them passed away.
Wow. Is there fear when, like, for that first time? Because I just shut the lights off before you told that story here, and I'm regretting it.
Well, as long as I'm around, you guys have nothing to worry about. I could tap in and out of the spiritual realm anytime I want. I'm sorry, what was that question? Because I I got distracted by turning the lights off, and now you're afraid of it.
Basically, were you afraid that first encounter that you had? Or is it something that you kind of immediately embraced and were comfortable in that type of situation?
I think it was like a mixed feeling I had. I was really excited. I didn't really understand. I was only in the second grade. I didn't really understand what spirits were at that time. But I was excited and happy that, my friend came to me, and that made me feel special. I was like, well, he could have gone anywhere he wanted to, but he came to me. I did have a lot of really good encounters with spirits and really bad ones. So it was mixed feelings sometimes. Until now, I just, sometimes I get so overwhelmed. I'm like, okay, I'm just done. I'm done for the day. I want to be left alone. So I just shut everything down, and you just get used to it after a while. I mean, I've encountered a lot of the dark side as well, and you just get used to it and just learn to embrace the gift that you have, which can be a curse at times as well. But, I was afraid, but I was very curious at the same time. And so I just started practicing more and more of what I can do, what I can't do, and slowly my doors started opening up.
So you were talking about when you saw your friend, he was just like solid, a whole person. Is that uncommon, or like spirits usually transparent?
It just depends on how, everybody's different. It depends how people see spirits. So, for example, my husband, he saw, the first spirit he saw was an orb, a purple orb. I've talked to many people where they say they see shadow figures and things like that. So, it's not uncommon to see a solid figure, but if you do see a solid figure and your doors are open, just know that your doors are open a little bit more than others. Because every door, and when I say door, I mean, the spiritual side of how open you are to the spiritual realm. So if you're a little bit open, you might be able to feel them a little bit. The more your doors open, the more you tap into the spiritual realm and practice it, the more you'll be able to see. So for me to see a solid figure, I just know that all my doors are open for that.
Wow. I'm not sure if I told the story on this podcast before, but I do have a younger cousin who I've heard stories from when he was much younger. My uncle passed away a while ago, and he would be like at the dinner table with his family, looking out the window, like laughing and giggling, and they would ask him, what's out there? What are you laughing at? Because they didn't see anything, and he'd be like, oh, Uncle Richie is out there. And then halfway through the dinner, he'd be like, can you shut the window? I don't want to see anymore. And that happened on like a few different occasions with him.
Wow. When did he pass away?
Ooh, wow. I couldn't even tell you right now. I mean, definitely over like 5 years ago, 10 years ago now, maybe. It's been a while. I'm also terrible with dates. Like, I don't even know my mom's birthday.
Don't even talk about dates, okay? I can't tell the difference between Monday and a Friday anymore, so.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I also don't know if a child is like 3 or 13, so I don't know how we got to this point, but yeah, I was going to chime in that like, I have no idea how old I am in what grade. It's like in second grade, I have no idea how old those people are. But anyway, so is this something that you do full time, like professionally? Is what you do for people?
Oh, absolutely. Again, unfortunately, I have no choice. I get bombarded by spirits everywhere I go. So I finally decided, why not just expand my gift to the rest of the world and, help everybody else out. I do so many readings on a daily basis. I don't have time for another job. This is my full-time job. I travel. I do readings face-to-face. People actually travel to me just to come and see me. At one point I had my radio show, And then I ended up having to leave because of my busy schedule. Now I want to go back, hopefully soon. But this is what I can't run from it. Basically, it's my life.
You're really in this.
Not by choice. Not by choice, but yeah.
When you say you get bombarded, I mean, what's a typical day for you? Is it like you're sitting up out of bed or like brushing your teeth and it's just like our spirit's talking to you?
No.
Or visions that you see? How does it work?
No. Reality is different from the movies that we see. No, I don't allow spirits to come through into my house, unless it's a loved one or a messenger, whatever, But, let's say, for example, I go to a restaurant. Not too long ago, my husband and I went out to eat in a restaurant, and our waitress came, and as she's taking our order, I looked at her, and my husband's like, oh, crap, not again. You have that look on your face. And so she took the order. She went in the back, and I looked at my husband, and I said, there's a little boy with her. And he's like, oh, not again, and this little boy's like trying to get my attention. So she came back, and I said, do you have a brother that crossed over? And I like to say crossover because, that's a little bit more respectful than just death. You know what I mean? So I said, do you have a little brother? And she said, yeah. And I said, okay, well, and then she kind of looked at me like, who are you? How did you know that? And I said, okay, well, I'm just telling you, there's a little boy over here who's claiming to be your little brother. And he just wants to let you know that he's with you because he does hear you talking to him. And she literally broke into tears. She said that she did have a little brother, but he died at birth. And, and so when I described, and she was like, oh my God, he looks just like our family. Yes, that's him. But when bombarded, spirits can tell. Unfortunately, I'm a spirit magnet, so they could tell that I'm able to communicate with them. And a lot of places I go to, especially the haunted ones, they will come and they won't leave me alone until they give me the message that they want. So is that what it mostly is? Just trying to pass on a message to a specific person that used to be, that was in their life, or how does it work? Why are they contacting you? Yes, most of the time it is a message. Sometimes it's a warning. Because there's no sense of time in the spiritual realm. There's, they don't have AM and PM and a clock everywhere you go. There's no sense of time. So they're able to do a reading just like I am. And they know ahead of time of what's going to happen. So if something bad is going to happen, they will get my attention to let so-and-so know this is what's going to happen, to give them a warning. So, basically... the good ones, normally, yes, and they have unfinished business, and they want me to stick my nose into their business sometimes, which a lot of times I don't. But then, and then the dark side, of course, we all know what their agenda is. I'm not even going to go there, but that's, every spirit that's here on Earth has an agenda, whether it's good or bad. I'm kind of curious, like, when you say that, where you're like, I'm not even going to go into that, like, what do you mean by that? Oh, well, I can't reveal too much when it comes to, the spirituality and especially the dark side. But, a lot of people think that the dark side is just dark side and they're all bad. But there is, that's not necessarily true. So I'm not saying dabble with the dark side, especially if you don't know what you're doing. But I have ran into, quite a few dark demonic entities that didn't necessarily come after me and try to take my soul and attack me and all the good stuff. Again, you see in movies. So, I think some people exaggerate when it comes to spirituality, especially when you dabble with the dark side. You have to know what you're doing, and on top of that, protecting yourself and all that stuff. But, sometimes people add a little more to it than it really is. Spirits are spirits, whether you're good or bad. You just need to know how to deal with the situation. Do you think Ouija boards are bullshit, or are they, like, real? they're beyond bullshit.
I needed to know. Would you say that...
I know you guys are curious about it, but I don't recommend you to try it, even though I think one of you guys might have even thought or came close to doing it.
To doing what?
The Ouija board.
Oh, I've never even seen one.
What? You have never seen one?
No, like I've never known anyone. Yeah. No, I've never seen, like, no one I know has ever been like, oh, I have a Ouija board, like, let's do it. Yeah. Like, I've just never come up.
No,
but
you don't.
I also, like, wouldn't want to do it.
See, when I say bullshit, the bullshit part about the Ouija board is a lot of people use it to, like, call upon their loved one. You know what I mean? That crossed over. And, as sad to say, I kind of laugh at people that use the Ouija board and something happens to them, because I'm just like, you know, how many more movies and stories out there that we have to put out for people to know that there's nothing good that comes out of the Ouija board, you know? You do open up portals, and it's portals to the dark side. If you look at all the videos out there, you'll see that nothing good ever comes out of a Ouija board. So when somebody does it and records it and puts it on YouTube or these paranormal shows they have these days, you know, the bullshit ones, I just watch them and I start laughing, and I said, what kind of an idiot will watch these stories knowing they're into the paranormal, but yet try one and then end up, you know, getting attacked by a demonic entity, and then try to wonder why that happened. I thought you were my loved one that came through, and this and that. Are you kidding me? You know, it's a joke. Like, if you don't know how to handle it, then don't do it. You know what I mean?
Agreed. I guess it just makes such a good premise for a movie. But
I have some really good ideas about movies, but you know, they add extra drama to it. But if you take a lot of the paranormal ones that I watch, they do take a lot of what's reality out of it and then put the drama in it, you know, for whatever ratings they want. But in reality, you know, that's not 100% of what really happens. If you guys want the scary movies and the scary stuff, find me a producer that will help me get into, you know, do my own movie and my own show, and then you guys will see this is the reality of exactly what's going on. And that's the scary part. That's going to keep you at the edge of your seat.
Would you say that most people have spirits with them, or spirits that visit them? So, like you told the story about that waitress, you know, and her brother being with her. Is that common for most people?
Yes, it is. Even for skeptics, and I'm very well known to turn skeptics into believers. So, yeah, a lot of people do have attachments that they have no idea they're around until they contact me. But you know,
do spirits visit people? Like, is it at certain times? Can a spirit always be with you? And like, this is not a joke when I ask this question, but like, if a spirit, like, is a spirit seeing you? Like, is a spirit seeing you live your life? Mm-hmm. Like, what if you're having sex or something like that?
Then if that spirit turns around and stays and watches you having sex, that means they are perverted.
All right, so same rules apply.
Absolutely. They can do the same. They can have sex too, you know. Just because you're in a spiritual realm doesn't mean you're dead. You know, you obviously continue and move on with your life, but they have feelings. They can, you know, the way that they sense their feelings, it's a little bit different than ours. But again, they do continue, you know, living. Just because we come out of our physical shell in this realm, it doesn't mean that, you know, our spirit doesn't come out and continue to move on. So sometimes you do have perverts too.
All right. Well, thank you for taking that question seriously. I feel like so many of my questions lately, like, I'm not joking. I just
you know, your questions don't surprise me at all. It's the emails I get on a daily basis. I think I need to have a show just for my emails itself. I mean, some people ask the most ridiculous questions, and I'm just like, how do I answer this? What the hell are you talking about? Huh?
Yeah, what are some of the things you've dealt with? Like questions that you've been asked or things that people thought you could help them with?
Oh my gosh, you guys have to check out my Facebook, because I go live a lot on that with those questions I get on a daily basis. You'll get a kick out of it. I think one of my popular ones, oh my god, this is so funny. A few months ago, I had an email from a woman. And, and keep that in mind that, of course a lot of people have trust and belief and faith in me with the work I do because, they see it with their own eyes. So some of them think I'm a magic genie on top of it. I mean, I'd be a multi-billionaire if I was a magic genie, okay? So this woman sent me an email asking me, dead on serious, with her phone number and everything, for me to call her back. Asking me if I can look into it and tell her what's wrong with her husband's penis. No, I'm serious.
What's her complaint?
I don't know. That was it. And I never, ever contacted her back. Like, I was just like, okay, this is so ridiculous. He might need to go see a doctor or something. I don't know. So I decided to go live on Facebook and ask other people, and they were dying. They thought it was the funniest thing they've ever heard. And in fact, some jumped in and they were trying to figure it out themselves. And I said, you guys are on your own. I'm not even going to go there.
Maybe it was a spirit penis, but
I don't know.
A regular penis. Now I'm really curious about this guy's penis.
When you guys figure it out, you let me know.
We'll do some research.
And then,
We'll get him on the show.
That'd be great. I would like to see that one. And then there's I just got a recent one. Oh my god, this lady was crazy. I think she was from Switzerland. Her accent was like really hard to understand, and I was trying my best. And so I'm sorry, Netherlands, not Switzerland. Thank you. So she was telling me that she went to like 2 other psychics, and they were dabbling with the dark side and all this good stuff and whatever. And she said that right after that, her boyfriend broke up with her. Now, she's in her late 60s. Let me remind you this, okay? Late 60s. Her boyfriend broke up with her, and now she thinks that he teamed up with these 2 psychics to put black magic on her. And, like all these crazy stories she's telling me. And I'm like, are you serious? Like, really? So I told her, I said, maybe you don't need a psychic. You might need to see a therapist, a doctor, I don't know what you want from me. So
it seems like people are reaching out with things that are just not related to what you can actually help them with.
I was just, and so finally, after an hour of talking to her, I said, you know what, I'm sorry, but I can't help you. This is not, you need a doctor. Go see a therapist, something, but, I'm done. And so I
guess desperate people will try to find answers anywhere.
Basically, she actually sent me a text message and a dozen emails after that, telling me the amount she paid to these fake so-called psychics, and she said that she wants me, demanding me, she needs me to go after them and get her money back. I'm going to let you guys sit on that one for now, okay?
Yeah.
I told you. I mean, they think I'm a freaking magic genie. Like, what am I going to do about, I don't care, like, I can't do anything about that.
Yeah. No, well, let's definitely focus on what you actually can do. And, we want to kind of open up the floor to you to either, like, give a reading or, whatever makes sense for you. We think this would be, a really cool opportunity to kind of experience it and record it.
Okay. While we were talking, when I talk to somebody, I normally connect to their energy to, see what I could see and see what I could pick up on. And this is how I don't do tarot cards. That's like the same thing as using a Ouija board. So, everything that comes to me naturally comes for a reason, and that's why, I tell people, and that's how my readings go. And if there's something I don't see, I straight up say, hey, you know, if they ask me a question, I don't see that, but I do see this, and I do help out so many. Don't ever go to a tarot card reader. And I think one of you guys have already done so, or even thought about close to coming to it. Which one of you guys are completely into the paranormal? That's what I want to know.
Completely into it?
Completely into it, meaning more so than the other, like really interested to finding out. But you guys are both scared. What is the fear about the paranormal? Is it the demons you guys don't want to see, or?
I don't think either of us are like completely into it, but I also think
no, one more than the other. That's been thinking about it.
I would say that's me.
Okay.
You're more curious.
Yeah, I think even just based on like our interactions and like even my excitement level of I get this as an episode and
I've had my tarot read before by a friend, but that's like the closest I've come to that. But I think that Greg is antsy because he's like curious and kind of, you know, I would say even almost wants to be like fully into it, you know?
Oh shoot. Don't do it. You don't want it. Because you see, you know, once you open up yourself to them, you're going to see everything. You're going to see the good, the bad, the ugly, the, not just that, you're going to become a spirit magnet. I mean, if you're ready for that, you could do it, but...
Well, see, I definitely wouldn't want that. But I think I'm curious about it on the surface level, but I would admit that I would be afraid for it to go any deeper, and I probably wouldn't want any part of that.
Right. Well, that's why I tell everybody, because, you know, I do mentoring as well, and I help people either close their doors or open it to the spiritual realm. And those who want to do it, they will try it for a little bit. And, of course, I give my warning on my side. I'm like, you know, you're a really good person and very naive and very sensitive to the spiritual side and naive because, like, you're going to be scared. Like, you're not going to know what to do. Are you sure you're ready for this? Oh, yes, don't worry about it, Monica. We're good and this and that. So next thing you know, I get a phone call a few weeks later, close my doors back up, please, I can't handle this anymore. You know, and then there's ones that go all the way and you know, deal with it. But going back to Joe, what were you thinking doing the tarot cards? That's what I want to know. Because remember I told you guys, I picked up on the tarot cards and with one of you guys, and then Joe said you. You guys are so damn close. Like, scoot away from each other for a little bit. Your energies are colliding. Joe, what's up with the... Now I'm going to ask you the questions. What's going on with the tarot cards? Did you experience anything afterwards?
No, it wasn't anything. It was more so just like a reading about, I guess, you know, it was characteristics that I guess I sort of related to at the time. I tried to go into it with an open mind, as open as possible. Like, I didn't go in there thinking, like, oh, this is bullshit, or this is this and that, but I also didn't completely go, like, I'm going to believe every word that comes out of her mouth right now. But, you know, it was a good experience, I would say. I think that, you know, some of the stuff, I think, related more than others. I don't think it was very specific to me. I think it could relate to a bunch of people. It wasn't really like, you know, it didn't single me out in any way, but I did relate to some of it, though.
Okay. Some of it versus all of it are two different things. That's why I always compare it to the Ouija board, because it you know, as you guys say, it's bullshit. What these tarot card readers do is they open up a portal upon a demonic spirit that could do a reading on you from head to toe, like I do over the phone or face to face all the time, and he's able to answer all your questions, thinking that you're contacting a loved one. So when you leave, of course that person is not going to waste her or his time sending that demonic entity back and closing the portal. They sent it with you, and congratulations, now you have a demonic attachment. And that's, you know, I do, and this is out of my own experience because I did test a tarot card reader before. Went in there with disguise, took all my jewelry off, and, you know, pretended I was somebody else, and they just literally went along with everything I said. And I looked at her and I said, okay, well, you know, screw you, have a good day. Don't mess with people like that. And I just, you know, walked out. And it really pisses me off, because those are the people that give somebody like me, or similar to me as well, a bad name, because, you know, they lie to people, and nothing good ever comes out of a tarot card. There's always the damn death card that comes out. And I do get a lot of clients that come to me after they see a tarot card reader as well. But, Joe, what happened to you when you were growing up? Like something... okay, so when you were a kid, you were, this is what I'm seeing right now. I'm telling you, like, things just, I blurt things out. I don't have a filter. So, when it comes to Joe, I see you as like this cute little boy, a little bit shyer than you are now. You're still shy, but not as much as you used to be. And you were always curious. Like, I literally want to call you Curious George when you were little.
All right.
Tell me.
I don't know. Tell you what.
Tell me you were Curious George.
I guess you could say that. I wouldn't classify myself as like a curious kid, but I could see how someone would say that.
Well, you were more mature than most of your friends. So,
right.
Yeah. So, you know, your humor is a little bit different than others, I should say, like, especially ones that...